Question number 8. So question number 8 reads, how do you simplify the rational expression and state any restrictions on the variable? Okay, so first we're going to simplify the rational expression, and then we're going to try to state the restrictions on the variable. Okay? So obviously, we can see here that we have a quadratic function at the top, and we have a linear equation at the bottom. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to try to factor b squared plus 6b minus 16. Okay? If we're able to factor it, we might be able to simplify our rational expression. So first we're going to factor this. We'll find the coefficients of our leading term and our constant term, which is 1 and 1 and 8 and negative 2. Cross multiply. Hopefully we get our middle coefficient here, which we do. So now we have found our factors, which is b plus 8 and b minus 2. And now we can simplify our rational expression here. So if we were to have b squared plus 6b minus 16, and we were to have b plus 8, we can alternatively write this as b plus 8 minus times b minus 2. And this is divided by b plus 8. So now we can see here that we can cancel out these factors, b plus 8 on the numerator and b plus 8 on the denominator. So we're doing it, and we get b minus 2 as our simplified rational expression. So now our rational expression, which is the ratio of two different functions, just turns out to be a linear function, b minus 2. Okay. So finally, we want to state any restrictions on our variable here. Okay, so even though our simplified rational expression is b minus 2, we have to evaluate the original expression, right? And what they mean by any restrictions on the variable is that for specifically rational expressions and rational functions, there are undefined values. And these undefined values are whenever the denominator is equal to 0. And this has something to do with the limits of a function. We won't get into that in today's lesson. But whenever the denominator is equal to 0, you cannot divide anything by 0, so we have an undefined value. So therefore, we have to set a restriction on our function here, or our rational expression, because we do not want to evaluate when the denominator is equal to 0. So in this case, the denominator is equal to 0 when b is equal to negative 8, as you can see here. When b equals to negative 8, the denominator is equal to 0. All right? And because of that, we have to set a restriction on that. But as we simplify, we see here that when b equals to negative 8, the function is just equal to negative 10. But when we're setting restrictions on a variable, we have to set it on the original expression itself. Okay? So the solution is correct. Good work. Okay. Let's move on to question number 9.